Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I will be talking about why I believe the 1.5 pp mid-core is the best bodyboard core for cold water. Bodyboard technology has seen little advancement since PP became the standard core material in the mid-90s. In fact, it arguably declined since the mid-2000s when extruded polypro was discontinued and replaced by a beaded version. Over the years, high-end bodyboards have been made from polypropylene or PP in two different densities. Firstly, there is the 1.9 pound core, which was generally used in warmer waters with a single stringer. The other was a 1.3 pound core, also known as NRG, which was generally used for cold water waves. Low density PP or NRG is no more, and we have now moved away from the 1.3 pound density core to a 1.5 pound density core. Before we go any further, let's discuss what these numbers mean. In simple terms, this number shows how much the foam weighs per cubic foot. This means that the 1.9 core is 1.9 pounds of foam per cubic foot. The higher the number is, the higher the density, meaning heavier or stiffer cores, whereas the low numbers have a lower density, meaning lighter and more flexible. The really high density cores, such as polystyrene, also tend to break or snap under load without much memory, while the lower density of PP would bend a bit more, allowing for more flexibility and a greater memory in the foam. When we talk about memory, this means the ability of the foam to come back to its original shape or form. So let's discuss the most common cores that bodyboards are made from. There are generally four types of cores. You have your EPS or polystyrene core, you have your polyethylene or PE core, and then you have the two PP cores, your low density or NRG, and lastly your higher density PP. EPS would be your starter bodyboards or your low end boards. These are the cheap and nasty kind of holiday maker type boogie boards, no stringers, easy to break and not very good. Then you have the 2.3 pound PE polyethylene cores, which are made for beginner and intermediate boards. This is a step up from the holiday maker boards, and sometimes riders would use them in very cold water waves. They have some good flex, but very little memory in the foam. Next would be the 1.3 pound NRG or low density polypropylene. And this is the high-end cold water boards. These have a bit more flex due to the low density material. And lastly, we have the 1.9 pound PP core. And these would be the high-end warmer water boards. They have good memory, less flex, as well as a longer lifespan. Now, I never really used to like the NRG boards. I felt that the 1.3 pound core was just a little bit too soft and too flexible for my liking compared to the 1.9 pound PP core. And you can understand that when we talk about the pound density per cubic foot. When the ISS system was still around, I was riding a soft flex stringer with Sniper's Infinity Flex system so that I would still have a bit of flexibility in the board. I enjoyed this in waves of consequence where you needed that flex to keep the nose up but still wanted the stiffness for getting speed and driving through bottom turns. However, since moving to the UK, I felt that I needed a core which was flexible enough to ride in the cold winter months. The water temperature usually ranges from about 12 to 7 or 8 degrees Celsius in the colder months. In the past, I would have then ridden a used PP core over NRG, as I felt the NRG core was just too flexible, lacked drive, and never really clicked with me. We have seen many changes in the industry when it comes to core materials, and now we have the new 1.5 pp mid-core, which comes in between the old NRG and the current PP. The big question is, how does this core change the overall characteristics of a bodyboard? Well, for the past 2 months, I've been only using my 1.5 pp mid-core, and it proved to have greater flexibility in the colder waters while keeping plenty of rigidity. I always thought that the NRG core had a weird feel to it, where the water under the board transferred through the core as if you were riding on a thin mat. And I didn't have the same speed, rigidity, or longevity I really liked from the higher density polypropylene. In my latest edit with Sniper bodyboards, I pushed this board pretty hard. Riding in colder conditions generally makes a board feel a lot stiffer than normal. But this 1.5 pp mid-core worked so well for me in the barrel, going for airs, and even while riding drop knee. It allows for more flexibility in those colder conditions without the need to ride the board in, while still having the speed and drive to get through deeper barrels. This means you are able to use the flex from the core to stall, get into barrels, and then lean forward, having the stiffness needed to gain speed again driving through. The board felt the same for air sections, where you are wanting maximum speed down the line, even if you hit any chops or bumps on the surface of the water, giving you good pop off the lip. And then with drop knee turns, it allows you to use the board's flex to get the rail into the face of the wave and use that flex to keep the rail in. It has made a huge difference to my riding in colder water, allowing me to feel comfortable and confident with what the board was going to do and how it would react while still allowing added flex. I think this core has changed the game, allowing riders to have a board that has very similar characteristics to the stiffer 1.9 pp core, while still having the flexibility in colder water. It has the flexibility needed on the bottom turns or steeper waves, while allowing the stiffness for driving where you want the board to hold or even gain speed. You don't have to change the way you ride or even adjust your timing to the lip with this core. From the first ride, this board felt like a used 1.9 pp core, maybe even a little bit better. And in the colder conditions, that's a huge win for me. After chatting with some of the other pro riders that are using the 1.5 core, this might even be a good core to use in warmer waters. Places with steeper waves that you need good flex on the bottom turns while still having the rigidity to go through faster barrels. This core could be the answer for both the warm and cold water waves. If you like a board that has a bit more flexibility, this core will be for you. It is much closer to the 1.9 pp characteristics, which I think will allow you to ride it in all water temperatures. My only concern in warmer waters would be the longevity of the board and how long it would actually last in those conditions. But for me, I will be choosing the 1.5 pp mid-core for all cold water conditions. If you guys are interested in a new board, or if you would like to try out this 1.5 pp mid-core, head on over to the Sniper Bodyboards website and check them out for yourself. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in the next video.